Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back. Another No BS social media update. You know, it's funny. With what I do, I often talk to more prospective clients than I actually talk with my regular clients. I don't think that's necessarily good or bad. That's just the realities of the business. Because prospective clients are always looking for, as we talked before, the quick fix. But it was interesting. I was having a discussion on the phone the other day with a prospective client who was actually the manager of an artist. And he said to me, "So, the social media thing, when's the big payoff?" And I kind of chuckled because I knew at that point I was never going to get this person's business. So I got real blunt with him and said, dude, there is no payoff. There is no ultimate big payoff for everybody. And if you think like that, that's the wrong kind of thinking. If you follow any of these videos, if you've paid attention to our no BS philosophy, it's simple. There is no BSing the system. There is no BSing the game. Now, that's not to say you can't grow exponentially for whatever reason. If you have a big hit record, boom, all of a sudden your social media following will just, blow up overnight, and you didn't do anything socially to build that. Songs played on the radio did. If you're a media celebrity, who knows, you did some big promotion or you got some notoriety, you got featured on TV if you're a radio person, or more importantly, you broke that big story if you're in the TV news, and all of a sudden people became interested. Small businesses, you never know where that could play into it. You've got a hot new toy that you're selling, and you're able to do some stuff with it online. I mean, there are lots of explanations for this. But the big payoff, the big payout, if you're thinking with that notion, you may want to, I don't want to say give up, but you may want to rethink your strategy. You may want to rethink your process. As much as people are frustrated because they can't grasp a handle on it, because they can't master it quickly, it's like the game of golf. And I think that's a good analogy. Social media is like golf. It's one of those things, there's so many nuances, it changes. It varies. Every day in golf, it depends on how the greens are cut. It depends on if your wind is going one way. It depends on how much sunshine there is. It depends on the humidity. All these things and all these facets and what clubs you use and how you're feeling and how your muscles are all play into it. So golf is a game you can never master. I don't know if there's a social media game that you can master. I don't know if there is a big payout. I don't know if there's a green jacket to social media, if you will. That's a Masters reference, by the way, if you don't follow golf. And I don't want you to, not dream and not think big, but I don't want you to keep thinking about these shortcuts. I don't want you to keep thinking that there's got to be an ultimate payoff. Because the ultimate payoff with social media is to have a career, to have a personal brand, to have whatever it is last for a long time. I worked in the country music industry for many, many years, still really do in essence, because I'm based in Nashville. The country music industry is based here. And so a lot of my clients, a lot of my, even media clients are country music based. And that's not the only format I work with. But what's interesting about country music and why I really leaned toward country music 25, 30 years ago was because of the longevity. Because you weren't constantly having to reinvent yourself. The longevity was good. Historical value was important. That's why people like George Strader stars, 35, 40 years. Wow, okay, I guess we are 30, almost 35 years since they got started. Because we respect history. We don't just turn over and think, oh, you're boring to me. You've been around 2 or 3 years. What's new? The pop world, the rock world in the music formats, those kind of formats kind of throw out the old quickly and move on to something new. So I think with social media, it's kind of the same thing where it respects its history. It's something you never master. It's something that just keeps on growing and going and keep bringing you benefits forever, as long as it's around. Again, I've talked about this before, and I don't remember which video it was. Don't get caught up in the social media site itself. Don't get caught up whether it's Facebook or Twitter or MySpace or Friendster or whatever it is. Websites will come and go. It's about these connections you're building that are the key. It's about building these blocks. Think in terms of the pyramid. They have a wider base and they get thinner as they go towards the top. If you try to build it too thin at the bottom, it's all going to topple over. Think about that in terms of fan. The greater the fan base, the wider the fan base you can build, you can afford to lose people here and there if you've got a big, strong base to go back to. If you really pay attention to your core fans, if you really pay attention to the people who follow you, your friends, your fans, your followers, the core people, and never disappoint them. Okay, there are going to be momentary times when you might disappoint them, but really, if you stay true to your core people, you can have a social media following that's going to continue to build forever, no matter what you're doing. You got to stay true to who you are, and more importantly, you have to mind that garden. Boy, I'm using tons of analogies here today, but don't worry about a big payout. Don't think about a big payout. There may be one, and if you can't take advantage of it, enjoy it while it lasts. But much like anything, it doesn't last forever. It's about steady build. It's about steady growth. And I've talked about that before. Social media, steady rules the race. Go back and look for our tortoise versus the hare analogy a while back. Slow and steady is going to win the race, and it's going to build you a personal brand, a career, a business that could last a long time if it's done properly. Don't think about the big payout. Next week, another, well, just a regular size payoff from us. NoBSSocial.com. The videos are there each and every week. Our No BS Social YouTube page as well. And you can find us on the social media sites as well. We'd love for you to connect, to reach out. My phone number, my email address coming up here at the end of the video. Would love to hear from you. We can talk more about it personally, one-on-one. I'm willing to do that anytime. Thanks.